Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing another live stream. Sensational. How are you? I am fantastic. And I am doing really well. How are we, friends? Are we in? Are we here? What's happening? I am currently responding to a comment from Jon Snow. Just trying to tell Jon about... Just trying to tell Jon Snow about the goodness that is the original Dior Homme. Oh, excuse me. Hello, Shiva Vareen. How goes Britain? Wet. Wet, and everything is falling up its own arse. But apart from that, sound. Stephs says, Duck God. Quack. Nick N, hello from sunny LA. Whatever it is here, Nick, it ain't sunny. It's a bit grim, mate. I won't lie. It's a bit grim. And by a bit grim, I mean extremely grim. The weather is shocking. It's like the type of weather where it rains so hard you can't see like 10 feet in front of you. It's pouring down out there, I tell you. It's pouring down. Sounds like here, the last part anyway. Yeah, everything's falling apart, like just the government destroying the economy, and then just shutting up shop and disappearing, not saying anything. Bastards. Spaced Out says, hi, I was busy just binge watching the Eugene and Christo live streams from 2018 that were unprivated for the whole day. Wow. Hello, Phil Stevens. I'll be back on Monday to experience it in person, says Nick. Well, apparently Friday is going to be the worst. Steph says, Mitch, this guy trying to sell me the vintage 2.4 Dolce & Gabbana Eurotalia testers for $160. Should I pull the trigger? You're not going to get them any cheaper. Shiva says, problem, reaction, solution. Well, that's the Hegelian dialectic, isn't it? So I'm told. Hello, Irregular Tangent. Nick is going to Lucky Cent soon. It must be midday there, is it? Drawn by Senses. Hello, yes, horrible weather and grim forecast in the UK. Absolutely shocking out there, isn't it? It's really cold as well. My mother won't put the bloody heating on yet because she's a bad cow. I might just go downstairs and just press the button, like. It is cold, like. I have got Michael Harness's socks on, though. Good socks. I highly recommend them to you. How are we? Oh, excuse me. Just before I forget, I am going to put in the chat my buy me a coffee. If anybody would like to buy me a coffee, you may. Thank you very much if you do. I shall pin this message so you can't get away from it. Nick says, yeah, just after 12 now. Yeah, it's like 10 past 8 here. Good evening, Manly Sense. How are you? Hello, my MJ, sorry. Scent of the day, private label. My scent of the day was Angel Men. Not Amen, Angel Men, the original. And it is fucking huge. Seriously. Feel like I've been hit by a nuclear weapon. Massive. It wore me for the first couple of hours, like I won't lie to you. Absolutely gigantic perfume. Everything about it is huge. And it's kept beautifully too. I've got this, like, I've got about like 20, 30 mil left in this, like, fucking refill thing that I've got. Oh, God almighty, is it big. It's so powerful. I'm going to have to do a video on the amens. Spaced Out says, I'm planning to wear Santal Royale tonight just to test it. That's another massive perfume as well. I sold mine. Sold mine to the Centurion, Scott. Good lad. Somebody mentioned Dolce & Gabbana Pour On before. I sold him a bottle of that as well. Like I said, good lad. Good evening, Adam D. Scent of the day, Leonard Pour-Homme. I've got Leonard Pour-Homme. It's not bad. I should wear it more. I might wear M7 tomorrow. The Oud Absolute. Peter says, live long and prosper. I'll do no such thing. I'll do neither of those things. None of those things. Ooh. Someone has supported me on the coffee. I can't see who it is at the minute, but you are too kind. Oh, I've just got an email saying you've been supported on coffee. Or Ko-fi. In this case, I've had to put the quilt on, like, it's absolutely fucking freezing. Oh, the bubbles have already stopped, have they? That didn't take long. Jesus. Always here. He is always here. Oh, I can't respond, though. I'll have to wait until my... I'm not using my actual phone because I'm not logged in. Or am I? Oh. Shiva Vareen has also donated. Shiva Vareen, thank you very much. And thank you to Eugene as well. Oh, don't report abuse. Jesus. Quack. I don't know. It won't tell us how much or like fucking what's happened, but thank you, Shiva Vareen, and thank you, Eugene. I'm getting closer to the point where I can buy either a new phone or a laptop. My friend was telling us, they were like, oh, you should wait until January because that's when they have sales on stuff like laptops and stuff. And I was like, maybe I will. Maybe I will. But maybe I won't. And I'll just keep everyone guessing. You never know when I might strike. But thank you. Thank you, Eugene and Shiva Vareen. Oh, that rhymes. You are too kind. Okay. Now, how do I get back from whence I came? The fiery chasm whence I came. Let's have a look. Where are we? 28 people. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to... just until I can get into my phone to check everything and reply to you individually, I'll give you both a hug. A man hug, though. There we are. I love that little emoji. Like, everything changed. I give people hugs. Scent of the J. Scent of the evening. Scent of the J. Scent of the evening. Je vois incident diplomatique. Which one's that again? Oh, Benji's wearing Portos. Outrageous. Irregular Tangent says, fellow Trekkie I see. Yes, he's been loving the Trek recently. He's been blasting it. That's why he hasn't made any videos, because he's been watching Star Trek backwards. He'll have to elaborate on that. Manly Sense says the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. I agree. Part of what makes us human. Afternoon perfume peeps, says Anuj. Welcome, Anuj. Manly Sense says January, wait until Black Friday in November, mate. Problem with that is, right, is that I've got to like physically, like, you know, I've got to like physically do stuff, haven't you, on Black Friday? Do you get Black Friday on the internet? Because that would be handy if you could, because I'd struggle in one of those like massive fucking queue things that people have to like do on Black Friday. I would die. Or have a back spasm, which is probably worse. Sorry about that. Monday the 28th of November on Cyber Monday, says Adam. Maybe you should strike. Maybe I should strike on Monday the 28th of November instead. Welcome, Hub Zero. Irregular Tangent says the Heavenly Patchouli one, Rich. Is that not psychedelic? Not incident diplomatic. Psychedelic. That's what I thought. Sorry, I'm just... Sorry, I'm biting a fingernail because I'm an evil man. Irregular Tangent, the Heavenly Patchouli one. I'm intrigued. Deva Counting Cigars. Hello, all. Welcome, Deva. Scent of the day. Ascendis Lucipura. I may have butchered that. Can't apologize enough. Lucipura. Shiva Vareen, welcome back. Sheikh Al-Faranzi. Is that a house? Or am I thinking of that place in Birmingham? Which name I can never forget. Never remember. I beg your pardon. Sheikh Al-Faranzi. Irregular Tangent says Black Friday is absurd in the States. Or Europe. The lines are chaotic. Yeah, I would get trampled. You know, I'd get trampled. Ordered Patchouli Imperial, says Demir. It's not on the list. If you type the name in the search, you can still order it. Outrageous. Demir with the tip. The hint and tip. I might wear Patchouli Imperial soon. I might do a Patchouli week. Anush says, in Canada, idiots have double dipped here trying to do American Black Friday and still keep our Canadian Boxing Day. Absurd. Yeah, that's what they do here. They have the Boxing Day sales. No chance. I'll just like stay in bed for those days. Like, I was never a massive fan of Christmas. And then I started liking Christmas a little bit. But I hated Christmas when I was younger. Spaced Out says they're probably selling off their last bottles before they discontinue it. Yeah, probably. Hello, wonderful friends. Evening, Rocket Richard, says Bob. Welcome, Bob. Hub Zero says, have you tried Molinard Patchouli, Richard? I have, Hub Zero. The one I got was the reformulated one, the latest bottle. and I don't like it. It's got this plasticky, cheap nastiness. But the one that came before it is much better. I've got Queer by Molinard, and that's really interesting, but I get this kind of sweet note from it, and I don't get much leather. For a perfume called Leather, you takes your money, you pays your money, you takes your choice, mate. As far as like Molinard and Jouvois, they're similar. The Molinard's more patchouli, and the Jouvois is more like a vanillic. If we're talking about psychedelic, the Jouvois is more of like a vanillic, like. But I've got to be honest, I don't really. I'm not really a big fan. Sheikh Al Faranzi is an attar by Maison Anthony Marmande. Anthony Marmande, isn't he based in Birmingham? I'm sure that's the one that Dura Rose kept telling me to buy from. I'm sure he likes Sheikh Al Faranzi as well. I've definitely heard of Sheikh Al Faranzi before. You know? Steph says, Duck God would rather pay $260 for D&G Pour Homme d'Italia 4.2 boxed sealed, or $160 for a tester never used. $160 for the tester never used. Absolutely. Every time. You get it for $100 cheaper. I've said many a time on my channel, do not, if you're looking at vintage fragrances and you want to collect vintage fragrances, don't be scared to go without a cap, without a box, with some writing on the back. Sometimes it's all about the juice, you know. You're saving $100. I mean, I've got like 4 bottles of that stuff, and I think all of them are testers. In fact, I'm almost certain all of them, apart from one, are a tester. And the cap comes with the tester in that one. That doesn't bother me in the slightest, mate. Save yourself $100. Shiva Vareen says, Sheikh Al Faranzi is an attar by Anthony Marmande. Yeah, I've already read that, haven't I? Sorry. What's your opinion about Versace L'Homme? So I've got the vintage Versace L'Homme, and I like that one. I like it, but I'm actually trying to sell my bottle. I've got a vintage one from the 90s, and I'm trying to get rid of it. It's not my favorite it's not my favorite vintage fragrance, to be honest. Regular Tangent says it's more sweet leaning for Jouvois and Molinard, and may smell more earthy. Yeah. Scent of the Day, Sex and the Sea by Francesca Bianchi. Sweaty hot skin and suntan lotion. Do you know, I think Ramsey was testing that out today. I won't spoil what he's going to say in his video, but yeah. Anush says, testers used unboxed. Absolutely nothing wrong, provided the fragrance is intact. Exactly. Oh, some retracted messages. Sticks Schlonghammer. Welcome, Sticks. Versace L'Homme is one of my favorites, to be honest. It's freaking sick. Richie G loves it. Absolutely loves it. I thought I would love it. And I do like it. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying it's not my favorite vintage fragrance. And I would like the vintage one I've got to go to a good home. Like someone who's going to really enjoy it, you know. But if I could send it to you, Sticks, I would. Just, you live in America, and this fucking little island won't let any perfume leave, which is a nightmare. They need to sort this out, like. Bob says, all the rules change when your tastes come around to that unavailable juice. Ah, yes, the forbidden fruit. Yeah, when you can't have it, you want it more, don't you? You know what I mean? I beg your pardon. I do apologise for coughing in your ears. I think he's based out of Dubai, says Shiva Vareen. He's got a place in Manchester, in Birmingham, I do beg your pardon. If Dura Rose was here, he'd be able to tell us. I'm sure he's got there's somewhere in Birmingham where they either stock him or he's got like a shipping place that you can order from. Here to Z says, read a big reviewer on Base Notes stated that Fine Accoutrements Fresh Vetiver was the best vetiver fragrance they'd smelled. Discontinued shortly afterwards. Oof. Nice shit, oh look. Does Dior Homme Original smell the same as it used to be, says Demir. Oh, that is not easy. That is a complicated one. So the 2005 for me is the best version. And the 2011. 2020 doesn't bear talking about. That is not good. 2020 is not good. But the Dior Homme Original, I don't know. The latest version of the Dior Homme Original, I don't know. And I couldn't say, but just as a general rule, try to get as old a bottle as you possibly can. One of my general rules, it's not a rule at all, but something I try to do is get as close to the original release as I can, because I think that is as close to what the perfumer and the brand agreed upon, what they were trying to make. You know, every reformulation that goes by, you get further away from the original idea. You know, it's not hard and fast rules. Some companies do good reformulations, like Guerlain, like Prada, Cartier. You know, Pasha's still a decent fragrance. It's a little bit out of fashion, but it's still a good fragrance. It's not like it's not being like destroyed beyond like all recognition. But as a general rule, I've said before, if there's an in-house perfumer, then you're more likely to get a good reformulation. This isn't always the case. Guerlain Samsara that is released now is really, really bad compared to the original. But that's because you can't get Mysore Sandalwood anymore, which was a heavy, heavy ingredient in the original Samsara. It was based on it. It was the fragrance, basically. There was a bit of jasmine in there as well, but just try and get as close to the original as you possibly can, as old a bottle as you possibly can, Demir. You have to pay a little bit extra, you know. It depends. Like I see people quibbling over like $20. Like you'd be paying like $200. I mean, everybody's got their limit, and you know, and it's probably best practice to like stick to your budget. But say if you're 20 quid apart in a valuation, just say, look, I'll meet you halfway. And if they won't budge on that, then they're just being bastards. And if you won't budge on that, well, you know, I hate to say it. Just be reasonable. But then again, it's not. Lots of people aren't reasonable anymore. Everybody's always trying to get like little victories over each other, and it's just like, oh God, cheer up. You know? What do you think of Patchouli Nobile? Oh, remind us again, who makes Patchouli Nobile? Have I not got it? Patchouli Nobile, is that by Nobile 1942 or something? Because I'm sure I smelled a sample of that and quite liked it. Is it Reminiscence who make a patchouli as well? And that's actually really good. For the price point, it's really good. Well, it used to be. I don't know if it is still. Stephs says, the tester he's selling does not have D&G sticker on the bottom, just a batch code. Sticker box kind. Authentic? Pass. Without saying it, I don't know. Sorry. I'm not going to sit there and tell you it's authentic without saying it. You know, I can't tell you it's authentic. You'll have to find someone to send the pictures to who you trust. You know, Anuj, you could get in touch with Anuj. Anuj could probably tell you whether it was authentic or not, or give you a better idea at least. You know, and then you're talking to Anuj as well. He might be able to sell you one. Hub Zero says, a regular tangent. Yes, Molinard, very earthy and kind of like it. And Javois don't have access to the only way to blind buy. Don't blind buy Javois. Antonio Hobson says, hello, everyone. Hello, Antonio. Spaced Out says, I sometimes prefer DHI over Dior Homme. Just love that rich cocoa vanilla lipstick vibe. It's a winning combination, isn't it? It's the ultimate sort of new modern man sort of fragrance, isn't it? You know, metrosexual sort of thing, like the man who looks after himself, the man who is always presentable, wears fashionable clothes, and it was the Dior man, you know. Slimani nailed it. Right man, right person, right place, right time, right perfume, right perfumer. Smells like a Chanel, does Dior Homme, especially the original one with the silver stem. DHI is like Godfather 2. Ooh, that's a good shout, actually, isn't it? Here lurking while I grade, says Rachel. Hello, Rachel. Shiva says, Smiley Town. Are you a big Bianchi wearer? I have 2. She's growing on me. Lots of echoes of intimacy in her fragrance. Yeah, she goes for that kind of sexy sort of thing. You know? Afternoon, Micah Shoemaker. How are you? Demia 1000 says, I still have the Dior on with a metal stick inside. It smells best. It smells clear, real. Reformulation black stick smelled more sweet, less clear, more powdery. Yeah, I would go along with that. I explain it in, if you think of it like art or painting, right? If you used a fine paintbrush and made lots and lots of individual intricate strokes, that's how Polge builds a painting. Demachi has a broad stroke, has a broad brush and a broad stroke. Now you can get 2 very similar looking paintings, but Polge has those tiny little intricates built up, like very intricately put together, more, feels just tighter, you know? There's no space inside. Everything is, all the space inside that perfume is occupied. Whereas Demachi's feels like there's like, I don't want to say gaps because there isn't. It's not badly made, the reformulation. It's just not as intricate. I may have choked on my own fucking analogies there. You know what I mean. Welcome, Western Oud. Micah says, finally found a bottle of Angel Man. Beware. Right? I wore that today and I seriously felt like I'd been hit by an extremely powerful weapon. I'm getting my 10 mil of uncut gem tomorrow, says Pradeep, instead of 100 mil because of someone duck. Nah. Well, I wonder if you'll thank us in future. Let's see. I'd be interested to see you come back. Leave us a comment when you get it and you try it. Anuj, any thoughts, says Steph's? Howdy, Fernando Milan. It's been a while. How are you? I'll tell you a patchouli that no one talks about. Patchouli Absolute by Tom Ford. That's a good point. I quite like that, but it's very hard to stomach the fact that the price of it when it's a patchouli. But it is very good. I agree with you. Pradeep says, I hope at least a decent freaking €60, €59. Wow, that's painful. For a 10 mil. Western says, I actually like my 2016 Dior Optimized Silver Stem. And do you know what it is? You're not the only one. Not even close. Not even close. There are lots of people who prefer the 2011 version. You know, it's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit bolder. George Fragrance Apprentice. I sent him about 5 mils of a 50 mil of the silver stem. And he did a comparison on a video, or he featured it in a video. And he said, he got in touch with us. He was like, mate, I've got to be honest. He was like, it might be sacrilege, but I prefer the 2011. I was like, it's not sacrilege. I was like, if you prefer it, you prefer it. What would be sacrilege is if you said that you preferred the 2005 when you didn't. That would offend us. But as long as you say what you feel, that's why I'm interested to see when it starts coming out what people think about Uncut Gem. I don't think anybody else is going to. Well, some people might, but I would be surprised if many people had the same reaction to it that I had. But that was my genuine reaction to it. Foul, and not with a W, with a U, a single U. Steph says, Duck God, you said you have Dolce & Gabbana Pour-Homme testers. What's on the bottom of your bottles, kind sir? I would have to go and dig one out. I can't do that, but it'll take a few minutes. If you give us a few minutes when I go to the bathroom, which won't be long, I'll have a look. Speedwolf says, I find it interesting that myself and other fragrance enthusiasts with similar tastes aren't fond of Dior Homme Parfum, yet it seems to be the most popular among younger, newer enthusiasts. On paper, Dior Homme Parfum should be my favorite with the leather, but I prefer the original. Speedwolf says, bold claim. I think Vintage Eternity is better than the Vintage Dior Homme. D&G Pour Homme. Ooh. I would have to get a Vintage Eternity. I wonder if Anuja's got one. Anuja, have you got a Vintage Eternity? I would have to smell Eternity again. It's been so long. And Calvin Klein don't particularly look after their fragrances very well, you know, as far as Reform's concerned. So Anuj says to Steph's, as Rich said, I would have to see the pics of this specific bottle to give you a proper opinion on it. You can contact me via email or WhatsApp. Product says, I prefer the presentation too. Black stem looks like a tie. Silver stem looks like a surgical part. So I know what the story is behind that. The black stem is supposed to look like a tie. The metal stem, the silver stem, is supposed to look like a dipstick for a car. And I was told that by somebody senior at Dior, someone who knows, someone who would know and does know and did know and told us. What do you think about Amber Nuit? I feel guilty that I don't wear it more. That's what I feel about Amber Nuit. I wish I might wear it tomorrow, actually. I've said that about 3 fragrances already, haven't I? Were there any significant intents before DHI? There was a DHI with a silver stem, would you believe? The original DHI came out in like 2009. Very little known flanker. I would fight someone for a bottle of that, and I can't fight anybody. Do you know what I mean? But I'd at least try. I don't know. Maybe that would bribe someone, or I don't know. I'd do something. I'd try and get it. I also prefer the 2011 Dior Homme over the 2005. I find it less sweet, says Speedwolf. Chauvois Psychedelic or Vintage Givenchy Gentleman for the best patchouli, says Smiley Town. Givenchy Gentleman Vintage, no doubt. In my opinion, you might feel differently. Hub Zero says, talking about patchouli, have you come across Tiziana Terenzi Ursa? No, but I was not impressed with Lardano Nero. Blind bought it. Blind bought it off Dava from Fragrance Bros, and I didn't like it. It's not his fault. You know what I mean? He gave it a very good price. I just didn't care for it. So I have only smelled a few Tiziana Terenzis, and they've never blown us away. I thought La Donna Nera was a glorified Black Afghano. Very similar, I thought. Welcome, Pat Lester. Hello, Rich. What's the day? What's the scent of the day? What's the date? It's Wednesday. I don't know if you wanted to know that or not. My scent of the day is Angel Men, the original Angel Men, the original formulation, the very first one. And dear me, did not know it. And so did everyone else around us. Currently wearing Chypre Azural by Les Indomptables. This is a beautiful orange note fragrance. I'm not big on orange, you know, not huge on orange. But that's one of the ones I don't have. I was actually thinking about wearing Vanille Havane the other day, but I went with Tabac Rouge by Fade On, another massive fragrance. Steph says, thank you, and Nuge, hope we can do some business in the future, says Steph. So yeah, get in touch with him. He'll help you out. Am I the only one who thinks Versace the Dreamer is super close to D&G Pour On, yet it gets completely ignored? I don't see Versace the Dreamer as being close to D&G Pour On. Could be with the tobacco, you know. That's maybe what you're getting. It might be your skin that's bringing that out. Mark Stevens says, Vintage Eternity is solid. Remember smelling it a lot back in the day. Yeah, Calvin Klein dominated the early to mid-90s, didn't he? It's like a few American designers came in hard, you know. Tommy Hilfiger, Calvin Klein. You obviously had Tom Ford running Gucci. Vintage Eternity is solid. Oh, sorry, I've said that. Vintage Eternity is outstanding. I'll turn you on to another vintage. The First Obsession for Men got 2 bottles, actually. With For Men in capitals. It's darker, smokier, and less sweet, yes. I appreciate it, Doug. I'm about to pull the trigger. I closed the store. This guy will raise the price tomorrow if I come back. Yeah, tell him to sod off then. Western Ood says, Eternity reminds me a bit of Platinum Mega East. Oh, not Platinum Mega East. I'm trying to sell mine. God. I'm really not a fan of Platinum Mega East. Eternity smells like Cool Water and Platinum Mega East. Oh, no. Stephs, you want to know what's on the bottom of the D&G Pour On sticker bottle, says Bob. Black Monday says, did you end up liking your Ebony from Balmain? So, I'm not familiar enough with it to give you a good enough answer. I can't answer that properly. I can't answer that properly because I haven't got a good enough answer for you. Sorry. I don't know it well enough to say whether I like it yet. I could go and get a spray and spray it now, actually, which I might do because I'm going to get up and go to the bathroom. Eternity is a massive lavender fougere. The lavender using it is definitely similar to Platinum Mega East, says Speedwolf. Yikes. A to Z says, Tower Perfumes fragrance samples work out at almost £7 for 1.5 ml vial. Hyperinflation. It's like the Weimar Republic. The fucking price of perfume is about to go through the roof. You think you've seen some increases recently. There's going to be increases again between now and this time next year, and probably over the coming years as well. Me and Ramsey often congratulate on each other on getting all the perfumes we've got before now. Vintage Eternity was my first signature fragrance in the 8th grade, says Speedwolf. Nice. I think mine was Hilfiger. I love that. I still love that shit. I never wear it, which is a shame, but I should. Audrey Jane. Welcome. D&G and Dreamer are similar for sure, says Bob. D&G is more floral. Dreamer has a stronger wet tobacco. Welcome, Vic. How are you? Bel Air Sense, a new friend of mine. He has a vintage channel if you're into that sort of thing, which I am. Excuse me. What are you eyeing tonight? Audrey says. Bob. And who says, Stephs, if the guy wants to raise the price on you overnight like that, he's a prick and you should tell him to shove it up his arse. Yeah, I totally agree. I'm eyeing a new vintage gem. Is that Samsara you want to buy off me, Audrey Jane? The Eau de Toilette. Cool, says Vic. Thanks, bro. No problem. Mark Stevens says, asked an older guy what he was wearing for the first time ever the other day. Turned out to be Curve, lol. I was shocked. I couldn't believe how good it smelled. Had to be an old bottle. Some oldies have just got just rocket. Seriously, tons a week ago increased the prices for bell jars from 190 to 210. Oh, God. Eternity smells like eternity. The rest are fanboys of it. Yeah, that's a decent... It's a decent collection. It's a decent point, sorry. Vic says, I tested uncut gem and it's a true mess. I agree. Mitch's word is as good as 24 karat gold, says Stephs. Thank you, Stephs. Irregular Tangent says, Schlonghammer, are you still selling things from your collection? I heard about this. It was a big event. People were climbing over each other to try and get into there. There was some good stuff. Check and see if your vintage obsession has for men in capitals. The vintage lowercase version is different. They made it sweeter and more gourmand, says Speed Wolf. I'll have a look. It's a vintage polish, says Audrey Jane. Huh? Styx is still selling things from his collection. You can put a list in the chat if you want, Styx. Why Sophia Grossman does not create anything, says Demir. I'm not sure. Maybe she's just... Sometimes perfumers go through like hot and cold streaks, you know. Like they can be in fashion. Maybe she just doesn't do it anymore. Maybe she just doesn't bother. Maybe she does something else, you know. Heard that Maurice Roussel changed the formula for his perfume for Frederic Malle. Yeah, I've heard that as well. James Crowder says, I broke open an old dead cedar branch the other day. It smelled 10 times better than any cedar note I've ever smelled. I live in Virginia, so it was probably Virginian cedar. Why do cedar notes suck? I don't know, man. The cedar in Bloodline is the best, probably the best woody note I have ever smelled. And it's a perfume. It's got a couple of other notes in it, but what a smell that is, by the way. Right, there are sandalwoods that are absolutely beautiful that do all sorts of stuff. That Texan cedar he uses is absolute dynamite. Smells like sunset. Smells like a beautiful sunset, you know? Absolutely stunning. Irregular Tangent says, I left my email at Ramsey Page Schlonghammer. Let me get a list of things you have listed for sale, says Irregular Tangent. Today I sold a bottle of Lamal Couple BPI and I bought a 1740 Marquis de Sade. Can't wait to give it a proper wear as I just have a tiny sample of it. Have you guys tried 1740? Barry Atrion says, hey, Rich, did you smell the Modern Givenchy Gentleman? I still think it's good. What do you think? I think the smell's there, but it's 90% the same, we'll say. 85, 90% the same, but the performance is weak for me. The performance is weak for me. Sophia Grossman sucks, is probably. That'll be why no one uses her anymore. Rich D&G Pour On is a good reach for tomorrow, bro. I assure you that it isn't, because it's going to be fucking freezing around here tomorrow. I know what Audrey Jane's looking at. Steph says, I would tell him to shove it, but I really want backups with the vintage D&G, and it's a good price, and the guy knows what he has. Mitch, have you tried Burberry Hero EDP? No, I haven't. Maybe it would sound strange. I like YSLY EDT, original reformulation. Original formulation, aldehydes, incense, fir. The YSLY, like from years ago, because that is a decent perfume. The one from like 40, 50 years ago. Zed said, is Olivia Creed still making fragrances? I detect sarcasm. Abe, what's happening? I'm all right. How are you? What page says Sticks? A video of his? I bought Blindly 1740 a week ago with 114. Can't wait to get them. The Hero EDP is nice, says Bella. Audrey Jane says, they told us in our briefing at work that we need to consider our energy consumption. Yikes. I charge everything there. I also take my hot water bottle. It's cold in the UK right now. It is. But you like hot weather though, don't you, Audrey Jane? I was like, your tolerance for cold is not high. Pat Lester says, I can guarantee Chanel will increase their prices to a $20, $25, $20 to $50 increment. It's 10%, mate. It's 10% every time they do it. I really wanted another bottle from the Les Exclusives, but I'd rather expand my horizons and put Chanel on the back burner. They'll never go down, the prices of Chanel. They'll only ever go up. They are trying to price you out. Dirk, waiting for your kind update, sir, as I have to be at work soon. I've got to go. I'm about to work. Dropped 500 on 3 bottles. Jesus. Irregular tangent. Irregular tangent. I have made you a mod so that you can now put your email in the chat. After you have done so, I will remove you as a mod. I must keep the mod inflation down. Bring 5 space heaters to work. Olivia Creed, who never made a cent. It was all done by Pierre Bourdon. Chanel has not increased perfume prices in Europe in 4 years. Well, they do it every year, yeah, Pradeep. Absolutely every year without fail. You could put your fucking life on it. Did you get his email there, Sticks? I like exotic countries indeed. Okay, he's got it. Happy days. I like exotic countries indeed. Give me that humidity. Oh, fucking humidity's rank. So is Chanel Le Leon a good perfume? No. It's bloody awful. I hate it. Get Shalimar instead if you like that kind of thing. I'm going to the bathroom and I am going to get the bottle of Obsession and the bottle of D&G Pour On. Give us a minute. Oof. Oh, we get. Okay, so it was 2 minutes. One of the obsessions I've got has the big writing, and one of them has small writing. They're both vintage. It was a second. And the D and G. Oh, where is it? There it is, right in front of us. Yes, mine has a sticker on the bottom. Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme Eau de Toilette, made in Italy. Do not dispose. This isn't a tester though. So give us 2 minutes. I'll go back. I'll go and find the tester. Oh shit! The bed. It was a sound. What a nightmare. Oh, good God! Right, yes, the vintage D&G Pour Homme, vintage D&G Pour Homme tester does have a sticker on the bottom. Oh, excuse me. Whilst I hydrate. Oh, private message for me from Speedwolf. Thank you, Speedwolf, for being so kind. You are a good wolf. Not just a quick wolf, but a good wolf. Not just a speedy one. Right. Sorry about that. So, yes, I can confirm. I hate to do this, but I've got both Obsession for Men, small print and big print, but they're both vintage. I know that because they're both made by Calvin Klein Cosmetics. And I have checked the vintage tester of my Euro d'Italia D&G Pour Homme for you, and it does have a sticker on the bottom. And that has absolutely fucked my hip. Did you get it, Susie? Are you sure? Let me get a list of her. The quality of Chanel is above all, says Vic. It's hard to beat. Yeah, I got it, man. A lot has been picked over, though. There's still some good vintages that I'm selling cheap. Yeah, I remember that, actually. Styx has got some fucking extremely cheap stuff that he's selling. And I know people who have bought off him and been pretty happy as well, so you can buy with confidence. No problem. I know coming in late to the events is a regular tangent. Prodeep says, yes, I have like 12 exclusives. Good Lord. Audrey Jane says, that surprises me. I know in the majority of European countries I visit, they go up once or twice a year, both beauty and fashion. They're a fucking rip-off Chanel. They can fuck right off with their madnesses. Super late, dude. I had so much stuff, says Styx. Great, nice, beauty. Nice. Shit phone. Apologies for poor grammar. I'm thinking of getting a new phone. I thought about getting a laptop, but It might just be easier to do it by a phone. I don't know. We'll have this conversation another time when it gets closer to when I'm actually going to do it. Everything else they sell has only a matter of time, says Pradeep. Mate, I would come earlier at Sticks, but I just found out through Ram. Sorry, Anush says to Pradeep, sorry, but I just want to be nosy here. Were you referring to just the Les exclusives? Or were you referring to all the mainstream Chanel frags as well, says Anush. Okay, goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, Vic. Cheers, man. Imagine Hermes Essence or reformulated ADP would be like €400 for 100 mil. Oh, don't. That'd be suicidal, that. Then again, you might have said that about fucking Chanel, to be fair. Hello, Christoph. How are you? Christoph will be going to bed soon. Just 6-digit batch code on the bottom, Mitch. Well, mine's got a sticker on, so I don't know. It's up to you. It's up to you. If I was you, I would get in touch with Anush, and he'll be able to help you. If you send him pictures via email, he'll get back to you very quickly, mate. Mine's got a sticker on the bottom. Vintage Eternity, I've smelled that. Brings back memory. CK nowadays, just a high street side brand. Yeah, Calvin Klein's, they're on their arse, aren't they? They were very 90s. Yes, mate, my bad. Exclusives only. The others have gone up like 10% every year. Pradeep says, oh no, Anush says, what fragrance to wear tonight, says Audrey. I don't know. Layering Sheikh Alfaranzi and Vintage Obsession. That might be my scent of the night. Christoph says, Audrey Jane, wear some cocoa. Audrey Jane has put on some vintage fracas. The meltdown with Chanel annual calendar was hilarious. I'm good, thanks. How are you? I'm all right, thank you. Vic says, I'm back. My wife left the house. Yay. My D&G Pour Homme Italy has a clear sticker on the bottom. Yeah, mine's got a clear sticker on the bottom as well. It's got some writing on, but you can see through the sticker apart from the writing. Yes, even Blur's high. Number 5, number 19 are pretty much niche pricing. Better than most niche fragrances, though. You're right, it's bedtime already. Rolling eyes, says Christoph. I'm glad you came in anyway, mate. I love putting perfume on before bed. Isn't it just lovely? It depends what you put on, really. Awesome, AJ. Fracas. Wow, says Bob. Only German D&G Homme are good, says Vic. Oh, Jura has text. What the hell does he want? I'm streaming, Jura Rose. What is it? He's going to tell me to hydrate. I know he's going to tell me to hydrate. Excuse me, I'm just clearing a lot of... Nice. I do. Jura says hi. And yes, I do have a jitty that I'm looking to sell, Matt. Right, excuse me. Sorry, everybody. I'm being contacted from beyond the bus. Awesome floral spray, says Bob. Christoph says, I wore one spray of Lily onto bed yesterday. Yuck. Audrey says, we need to sort our huge Christmas vintage haul. Who have tried Witness by Bogart? I've tried that. I know you'd love to do the same, Rich. It's never too late. It's gone. Is it, Bobby? You're selling Jiggy Duck? Yes. I'm selling loads of like stuff like that. If you want to buy that vintage Jiggy, let me know. It's a really old one as well. It's like from the 80s or something. I sprayed Rianne once while testing before bed. Bad idea. I felt like sleeping over a thermostat and metal grill. Says, yeah. Yeah, it will smell like you're on fire. Steph says, thanks, Mitch. I really appreciate it. I think I pass. Then we need to get you some promethazine with codeine for that back. Yikes. Let's do some mouchoir de monsieur. I don't have it, mate. It's disappeared off the shelves as well. I've got all the painkillers I can take from my back, Stephs, but I appreciate the thought. It takes more than painkillers to sort my back out. Do you know what it is? It's manageable. I can get by day to day. I'm sound as long as I do the physio. It really is the most important thing. I mean, the painkillers, obviously, so painkillers so you can do the physio, and the physio is what does the heavy lifting. If you forgive the bad analogy, but you know what I mean. I'm buying the Samsara off you. Yes, anytime, love. Aisha's just bought a current formulation of Jiki. Not sure how I feel about the current formulation of Jiki, but the one I've got some strength. Someone sold 250 ml of Nahima Parfum de Toilette in 3 minutes. Hard to disbelieve that, because that shit is like, for some people, that shit is like the holy grail. 30 mils of that stuff can go for like 2.5, like 250, not 2,500. But it can go for big money. Even the 30 mil Parfum. Pain medication, not just for breakfast anymore. Nah, I've pain medication morning, noon, and night, literally. Hello, AW, how are you? Sent of the day, Mail for Sheeny, little song. Fragrance Journey loves Mail for Sheeny, he's met him. Jiki's pretty close to Mouchoir de Monsieur. Yeah, got that lavendery thing going on, hasn't it? Hello, JJ. Just picked up some Kiehl's Original Musk on Skin. I find it smells very similar to Feminite Dubois, one of the best value fragrances you can get. Original Musk, you can do anything with it. Never a bad time to wear it. Maybe in the highest of high heat, it might be a little thick, but just go easy on the trigger. I love Nahima. It's one of my favorites, says Audrey. I've been looking more at the flute maker. Oh, God. I was telling you about, he's got one called Kung Fu Flute. It sounds quite nice. A bloody flute. I get like audio messages of the Kung Flu, of the fucking flute. The awful racket. Crazy that Kiehl's Musk only costs $40. It really is. Like, you get so much fragrance for your money. Scent of the Day, Royal Llama by Graham and Pot. I quite enjoy the fragrance, but it is too quiet, far too soft, says Alan. Steph says we need a healthy duck. Godspeed and healthy recovery. Indeed. Do you sell Royal Mayfair, Mitch? No, I haven't got it. Sorry, Matt. Do you have the vintage extra, says Pradeep to Audrey? Hub Zero says, this is what happened with Rianne, which I don't like, but my 7-year-old... Oh! My 7-year-old daughter love it. I don't know why. One day she sprayed it before school and we got a call from her school. I Outrageous. I just opened up a package with 30ml of geranium Paul Monsieur and 10ml of the moon, says James Crowder. I would have just spent all of that on geranium Paul Monsieur, to be honest with you. Not huge on the moon. Got the massive amber woods in it. Just spoils it for us. It's too much. If there's one thing I can criticize Julian Raskin for, is that he loves them fucking amber woods. He's clinging on to them for dear life. He must be being paid some fucking bank for selling that, for like selling the amber wood, because it's in everything apart from Russian tea. I don't really get it in Russian tea. Alan Hansen says, I love the moon, and that's an understatement. You can buy mine off us if you want. I'm selling mine. I love the night. Spaced Out says to Hub Zero, your daughter's got better taste than 90% of young men. At least. At least. Ow. Bang my head on the wall. 2 seconds, I'm going to take some pills. Oh. Come hither. Okay. Honestly, the water in this room is freezing. Let's see what the people say. Frederick Mall fragrances have all been now reformulated. Your daughter has better taste than 90% of young men. Alan says, I wish the night would have incorporated and featured a different variety of oud. It just happens to have one that's not top of my list, says Alan. I really like it. The dry down of that is absolutely fucking immense. JJ says, the difference in Monchois de Monsieur is in the neroli and lemon verbena. It's more of a citrus aromatic with the civet guerlanard dry down. Sub-Zero says, but she keeps threatening me. She keeps threatening me to empty my Balenciaga pour on if I sold Rienne. Gosh. Tell her to buy Rienne off you. Geranium Pour Monsieur is good, says James Crowder. I wore Beach Hut Man yesterday, and I think this mint note is better. There's few mint notes, very few mint notes, very few mint perfumes that are better than Geranium Pour Monsieur. Scent of the summer for me. I absolutely battered it. Product says to Hub Zero, get her some chorus. It's not a bad show, actually. She likes Rienne. Have you smelled Aaron Terence Hughes, Rich? Well, I mean, not the actual person, no. I've smelled a couple of his perfumes. They're all right. Not really my style. He's very modern. Cheers, Vic. Thanks for coming. See you later. AW says, I really enjoy Aaron Terence Hughes' reviews, though. Like, I can't front. I cannot lie. I mean, I would love to sit here and tell you that I didn't, but I do. I just do. I like listening to what he says. I don't agree with everything he says. And, like, would I like to go on a hike with him? I wouldn't go on a hike with any fucker. Would I like to go for a drink with him? Would I like to, like, sit and spend time socializing? Probably not. but I do like listening to him talk about fragrances. Same with Roger Dove, actually. There's a really good video called Fragrances Through the Decades, where Roger Dove, the audio quality is fucking appalling. God almighty. My audio quality is better than that. But it's worth sticking with. It's a 2-hour talk where he goes through, he's got some fucking outrageous vintage stuff, like some really, really outrageous vintage stuff. It's called Fragrances Through the Decades. It's well worth a watch. I highly recommend it. I could sit and listen to him talk about fragrances all day. Do I want to buy any of these fragrances? Not a chance. Yeah, Pradeep says where Roger flexes his vintage collection. It slaps. His vintage collection is absolutely sensational. Sensational. Hey, W says, hey, Mitch. Rich, I saw in your past video that you weren't sure how you felt about Gucci Hortus. How do you feel about it now? Is it close to Patchouli 28? Oh, I'm not an expert on Patchouli 28. Hortus is a difficult fragrance. It's really out there. Very different to the stuff I usually go for. I really struggle with it, to be honest with you. Let her wear Rihanna and wore Old Spice in kindergarten. Goodness me. I wore Brute when I was like 7, 6. My dad had I suppose it would be vintage, like a 90s bottle. Some Koros summer versions have a very good mint note, says Fernando Milan. I've got Sport and Fraîcheur. Not sure how I feel about the Fraîcheur. Like, I don't know how well the pineapple goes. Mitch, did you try Oud 27 by Le Labo? Yes, but I can't remember it. I really need to try that one. And Patchouli 24, I did, but I can't remember it, to be honest with you. I really can't. I like the Iris one. I do like the Iris one. But I thought I was going to hate everything by Le Labo. I don't know that I want to buy any of them, though. You know? Like, I don't think any of the Le Labos would improve my collection from my point of view. Ombre Nomad versus the Moon. I am considering this winter. Oof. I'd probably go with Ombre Nomad. I should really try the Moon again. It's just that dry down with the big amber woods. I hate amber woods. I just don't like them. I just don't like the way they smell. Like, there's nothing more to it than that. They do drone, though, you know? It's like listening to someone with a jackhammer outside your house, like, in it going all day and all night, and it just lasted for 24. This is what it feels like. Just after a while, it sort of becomes like, I don't know, it's just, the amber woods can just be a little bit intrusive. You know, they're just too much. For sure, it's fantastic, but I smell no pineapple in it. I get this kind of, we might be being spoiled by like the modern pineapple like chemicals. The pineapple in that is very, I don't want to say generic. What do I want to say? It doesn't smell specifically pineapple-y. It just gives more of like the impression of pineapple. I don't feel like I've ever explained myself very well there, but you like sort of know what I mean. Like I feel like the pineapple note that I use now are much more specific in the pineapple evoking ability, whereas the pineapple back then was more of like it's a pineapple-ish. Manly Sense says, I love the mint and ylang combo in the vintage Roger Regale alum. Where did I see that? I think Anouge has got that, and if Anouge doesn't have it, then Catherine does. Roger Regale have made some good fragrances. Open's a good fragrance. Smoky lavender. I think it's open. Or is it open black? Like a birchy lavender. It's really nice. Give it a Richie J. Only paid 18 quid for it. It's a hell of a lot of fragrance for 18 quid, though. You can pick it. It wasn't Lom that I had, but Roger Regale, you can pick them up cheap and they're decent fragrances. The Moon is double of Ombre Nomad, which itself is not cheap. Yeah, I mean, I got mine at a decent price. Like, I got mine 20% off before the price increase, so I paid considerably less than what it is now. You know? JJ says, if they are heavily dosed, they elicit migraines for me. Amberwoods, yes. Just, it doesn't take much to heavily dose them either, though. They feel like there's a lot, like, a little bit of amberwood goes a long way, I feel like. Maybe I'm just hypersensitive to it. I suppose you are hypersensitive to stuff that you strongly dislike, so. Spaced Out says, I cannot stand the Moon and Promise. It's too loud for me. Not even big on Tom Ford as I used to be. You might just be changing. Labdanum 18 is the only Labo I have a full bottle of, but I'm a sucker for that profile musky civet powder. How do I spot amber woods in fragrance, by the way? So what you'll get is you'll get this kind of dark, slightly smoky, slightly woody, ambery, powerful in the dry down, especially monosyllabic. So it feels like one chemical. It feels like it hasn't got depth. It feels like it hasn't got complexity. It feels like one droning kind of note. You'll know it when you smell it. It's pretty rough. Fernando Milan says, Labdom 18 is the only Labo I have a full bottle of, but I'm a sucker for that profile musky civet powder. JJ says, none of the Desert Gems are particularly appealing to me. JJ says, very sharp, woody, astringent, almost rubbing alcohol, like high pitch. They're high impact materials and project like crazy. They are very, very, very strong. I personally go with Ombre and Nomad. Personally, I would as well now. I would have gone with the Moon before, but I'll probably go with Ombre and Nomad now. Good day, Michael Harness. I am wearing your socks. I have donned your socks. Michael Harness, hello. Product says to spray, Spaced Out. Spray, wash with water immediately and see if there is a metallic, cedary, fuzzy, sharp smell. Spaced Out says, JJ, thanks. I know that the Moon was just too loud for me, really aggressive. And they are there in full effect, even more so in Promise. Don't like Promise dried on. Thank God I have a decant. It's a great day for socks, says Michael. It is a great day for socks, to be fair. You've absolutely nailed it. Thank God for socks. Imagine a life without socks. Some people don't have socks in their lives. You know, sockless. Manly Sad says, hey, JJ, just read your review of Sergio Tacchini on Fragrantica. Ah, yes, that's a fun one. Glad it's still around, says JJ. I've got a Sergio Soldano fragrance called, oh God almighty, what's it called? It is one of the blackest perfumes I've ever smelled, though. It smells like, woof, what does it smell like? Oh God almighty. It's black. It is really black. Like the bottle's got this kind of plastic, kind of Trussardi Uomo thing going on. Oof. I mean, it's Sergio Soldano Black. Yes, that's right. Thank you, Manly Sense. That is a dark boy. Yeah, it's the black one, says Bariatron. Well said. You're right, it was the black one. I'll tell you what I've been testing today. I've been testing out Sacred Scarab. And I like it. I really like it. But I'm not going to buy a bottle of it. I like it on skin. I like it. I like the way it smells. I like the way it's built. I like the materials. I like the idea. There's something that stops me. I can't see myself wearing it. I just can't. Sergio Soldano Black. Yeah, give us a second. I'll just get up and have a look. Ooh. Oof. Where are you? No, it's not. It's Sergio Soldano for men, although it is black. So we could both be right, or we could both be wrong. Oh. It's called, on the bottle, Sergio Soldano for men. And it's such a dark bastard. A vicious perfume it is. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Yeah, it's the black one, says Bariatron. Yeah, I'm going to have a look on Fragrantica just quickly, see if I can get a picture of the bottle. Sergio. Oh, I'll just put in Soldano. It'll be quicker. Soldano Black. Oh, well, yeah, it is. It's the same. Men, yeah. 1985. Grapefruit? Nope. Artemisia? Nope. Aldehydes? Yes. Mandarin orange? No. Bergamot? No. Pine tree? Yes. Lemon? No. Lavender? Geranium? Oh, maybe. Carnation and jasmine? Yes. Oak moss? Yes. Vetiver? Yes. Cedar? Yes. Patchouli? Yes. Musk? Yeah. Amber? No. Tonka bean? Not for me. Oh, God. People on Fragrantica are saying it's got a massive grapefruit note at the top. I don't think so. Fuck no, it's going for like 14 quid on eBay. Oh, nope. That must be like the new bottles. Oh, it's so black. People who like this also like Versace Lom, Pragaraban Porom, Fahrenheit, Quorum, Aramis, Encre Noir. I'm going to make a concerted effort to wear some Encre Noir this year. It's been a while. Oscar de la Renta, poor Louis. Poor Louis. Oh. No one seems to like Sergio Saldano Havana, the peachy coloured one. What's it smell like? Sergio Tacchini is deaf one of those where there's literally no difference in the older versus later versions. Smells close to Paul Louis. YSL YEDP is the worst garbage I've ever smelled in my life, says Spaced Out. Eugene was spot on in describing it. I have no idea how it has such a high score on Frederick Antiga. A friend told me that Saldano Black is almost identical to Jaguar for men. I wouldn't have thought so. I can't see Jaguar releasing a fragrance like that. Am I getting it mixed up with something else? Give us a second. Oh. Get up about it. Get up about it. Whoops. Decent spray. Oof. No, maybe I've done it a disservice. It's not quite as black as First Beard. I think I'm thinking of something else. It is aromatic though. And the moss and the vetiver is quite dark. You know, you can get some. It's quite soapy. I've done Sergio Saldano a massive disservice there. Massive disservice. Sergio Saldano Black is a Scentland speciality. I wonder which World Cup final it reminds him of. If his team won the match, Saldano would get a thumbs up. Otherwise, it's a scrubber. I find Sergio Saldano Black similar vein to Oscar de la Renta Paul Louis, says Barry Atrion. I'd have to put them next to each other and do that. I'm not sure that I do. Yeah, people called it Saldano Black just to differentiate it from the Havana, the peachy coloured one. So what's the peachy coloured one smell like? Since it's the year I was born, I highly regard anything released in 85. Yo, I was released in 1985. You need PayPal to use coffee, says Floral Notes? You do for mine. Bless you. You don't have a PayPal, Floral Notes. Not that I'm trying to provoke you to get one, but you know what I mean. I'm surprised. You seem quite like up to date with like the world. I didn't have a PayPal until about 2-3 years ago. So Sergio Saldano has a thumbs up, says Barry Atrion. Yeah. Ooh, Jacob's just done a Paul Monsieur Eau de Toilette. He's just released it, sorry. He's just done it. He's just released it. I'll watch that when this is off. I love Jacob's reviews. I remember distinctly. Do you know how some reviews and some perfumes stick with you because of the reviews you saw, and some reviews stick in your mind? Jacob's got a few for me, like Opium Pour On, where he got his big factice. And he was like, here's my big factice. It just reminds us every time I see that bottle in particular. I'm always reminded of Jacob. So Sergio Saldana's a thumbs up. Barry Atron, how do you feel about the classic action movie Runaway Train? I fucking love that film with John Voight. The terrible bastard that he is. He ran away from fucking Angelina Jolie, the dick. Why has my phone just come up with my balance? That's unusual, isn't it? Someone must have tried to ring. It could be Richie G. Richie G does that kind of thing from now and then. Manly Sense, I love Runaway Train. It's a really strange. I don't know why. John Voight's a terrible bastard, but what a film! I love that shit. Just the last scene, absolutely unbelievable. Like the last picture, you know. It tried to make me sign up, Anuj. Says Floral Notes. Oh no. Mitch, do you have any of the Girl on Ideal line? I tried to get the sport old version with the paint on the sides. Not too bad. Not bad, not great. Paid 62. Yeah, I've got L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum and I never wear it. It's too sweet. Like it's that sugary sweetness, you know? It smells like diabetes. I don't like that my whole last name is going to be out there if there was a transaction. There wouldn't. It's whatever name that you fill out to show on the transaction. Witness protection, Lily? Yes, that's right. No new Lomedial this year. Imagine my shock, says Prodeep. No comment, says Lily. Hi, Rich. Hello, Prof. Melvin. How are you? Oh, I haven't seen that one manly since, but much obliged now. Yes, John Voight and Eric Roberts. Hi, Pro. I love to recommend it as it's relatively unknown but excellent. It's unusual because it's actually written by Kurosawa. Is it really? Barry Atrion says, I'd love to recommend it as it's relatively... Oh, sorry, I've read that. Eugene says, Rich, what do you think of vegan perfumes? They're almost certainly shite, like vegan meals. Anuj says, Eugene. Eugene says, Anuj. I'm two people in all of here with my full name. Got to keep it that way, says Floral Nuts. That's calm. I understand. Eugene, what does vegan perfume even mean? I mean, it's going to be anemic, you know? Lily beyond the lamb, says Anuj. Barry Atron says, I think Lauda for Men is my fave from the Air 85. I love that shit. What a beauty. I slept on it. When Thomas reviewed it, finally got it this year. So happy to have it. Yeah, even the modern versions are really good, to be fair. Smells of diabetes. Yes, that's right. Yes, Runaway Train was supposed to be a Japanese movie with Toshiro Mifune playing the John Voight role. Seriously, that last scene. It's not even that it's a scene. It's that it's just the image. It's just the image of like the last thing that just like what it left us with. It was just awesome, you know. What's a vegan perfume? I always found it to be a bit silly that vegans refuse consume any products coming from bees. Well, I mean, vegans, the thing with a vegan is, right, the first thing a vegan will ever say to you is that they are vegan, right? Like, seriously, it's like fucking, like, the first thing they'll say, you know? Not hello, not how are you? Hi, I'm vegan. It's like, fucking what? Sort off. Who are you? So it's more of a, well, I mean, you could say anything dietary is like a psychological thing, couldn't you? You know what I mean? Like, but there's definitely like this kind of like, I don't want to use the words fucking virtue signaling, but because I think the words virtue signaling have been over fucking used. But they do sort of come across, and it does seem to be like this kind of like, hi there, I'm extremely moral. How are you? Are you as moral as I am? No? Well, then I look down on you. But I won't say that. But I do. You know? Some people do it for religious reasons, which is even more dumb. Oh, excuse me. The hydration is flowing. Now I need to know Floral Notes' name. Prof. Melvin, not entirely sure, but it can't be good. Hello. Yeah, man, that final shot is biblical. Yeah, it's fucking immense, like. Wheat alcohol like Tio Cabanel. Yeah. Centralized sent me some Tio Cabanel fragrances, like loads of the samples, and I need to try them still. But I mean, it's alcohol, you know what I mean? It can be wheat. I'm not bothered. I just think that it can go too far. The thing is, as well, right? It's like they'll be like, "Oh, we won't use ambergris. Like, we won't smell anything with ambergris. Stop the ambergris industry." And it's like, what are you fucking talking about? It's a waste product. Like, it's either a product of the whale already being dead, or the whale is either vomiting or shitting it out. Like, I have heard, right, that there are posts on famous fragrance related websites where vegan fragrance enthusiasts have been like, oh, whales are killed for their ambergris. And it's like, you fucking lunatics, like. Zealots, overzealous zealots, like literally blinded by their own fucking morality. Madness. Wait till they hear about figs, JJ says Floral Notes. I know, and the figs and the wasps need each other. Fucking wasps. Evil wasps. It's not that I think bees aren't sentient beings. Very good, JJ. But there's far less cruelty than that, than with most other animal husbandry. Yeah. It's not even like fucking cows. You know, like cows have been like like dairy cows have been bred to be dairy cows over the years. Like, it's not even like that. It's like fucking bees are just going about their natural thing. And then every once in a while you smoke them out, get the honey, let them start again. Not that I'm big on fucking. I do have a subscriber who is big into his bees, the bees of St. Ambrose. He is a big, big beekeeper and knows his shit. So I don't want to tell him his business. But yeah, that's my understanding of how you get honey, really. Plus, it's been going on for like hundreds, like thousands of years. People are keeping bees, you know what I mean? Maybe not thousands of years, but you know, like hundreds of years. Manly Sense says truth about vegans talking about it non-stop. Also, people who do CrossFit. Oh god. It's also the second and third thing they'll say. Yeah, it's all they want to talk about, like. JJ says, I argued once with an animal activity and about an animal activist, I would say, yeah, about wildlife management. She'd sooner see scores of animal plant species and whole ecosystems perish than to control deer populations because of cruelty. Yeah, it's because everything's about them. It's nothing to do with the animals. It's nothing to do with the fucking, like, it's about them. It's about them being able to say, I am here. Look at me. I care. I'm superior. Produce says more than I have a boyfriend. And this animal activist also claims to hate spiders. I hate spiders. I think it's just a natural human thing to hate spiders. Like snakes. Just stay the fuck away. They stay away from me, I'll stay the fuck away from them. I'm not going to go out looking for them to kill them. But if you fucking come near us, I'll fucking use my human fucking ingenuity to take you down. You know? I'm going to kill you. It's as simple as that. Hey, James, how you doing? And that Grant's past, says Michael Hornis. Lily says, I can hate spiders, but I won't kill it. Have someone else remove it from the premises for me. I freaking love spiders and most arthropods, says Georgia. It's too strong a word. I regret. I retract. One last thing about Runaway Train. It's the only action movie until Training Day came along, which both lead actors got nominated for an Oscar. Action movies are actually snubbed. Normally snubbed. Yeah. Training Day is some fucking film as well, by the way. Dear me. I'm agree. Is it puke or poop? Who knows? Wasps are not evil. Most misunderstood creatures on Earth. We only associate evil with the tiny percentage of social wasp species that aggressively defend their nests, colonies, and sting me for no reason and then fuck off. Undigested food vomit, Bobby O, says Fallen Notes. Whatever created spiders spent just as much time designing them as humans. Little bastards. Most are solitary wasps that are non-aggressive and beneficial. Some are downright beautiful. How do you guys feel when you babysit an animal for a short period of time and then have to give it back to the owner, says Adam D. I've never done it. Mark says, JJ, it's crazy how much the flora explodes when you control deer populations. Happened in Yellowstone when they reintroduced wolves. Saw a video about that recently, Mark. That is true. It was crazy. Ended up being like the river like started changing course and shit like that, or it stopped changing course because the beavers came back. Something like that happened, didn't it? It's unnecessary to either introduce natural predators or manage the population. Home lizard, the worst, says Hub Zero. Richie, Daffy, or Donald? Never Donald. Steph says Polo Earth is a vegan perfume and it sucks. Update, very underwhelmed with Girl on Ideal Sport. I'm being sucked in by Girl in Art Culture, says sucks. Oh no. Steph's. Spiders are so fast you spot them, look away for literally a second, and on the other side of the rooms because they've got 8 legs, isn't it? Roger Apex feels vegan. I'm missing the Apex Predator pod. I just don't like it. He released a video the other day about how he's released the Parfum version. Fucking gonna be crap, I know it is. Spiders are beautiful creatures, but we do have an innate fear of cautiousness. And yeah, I totally agree. It's like a fucking, it's especially in like where I live. I live in like the north of England. There is no poisonous animals apart from the blackadder in England, and nobody fucking sees them bastards anyway, apart from on the TV. And usually that's a comedy series. There's no poisonous spiders where I live at all, not even remotely. But still, it comes from when we like developed on like the fucking Serengeti and fucking in the Rift Valley and that, because there is definitely dangerous spiders and snakes out there, you know? Jesus. It's all to do with that little fucking thing, you know? If you hear a rustle in the bush, you either leg it or you fight it, right? Or you die and your genes get wiped out, you know? That's why the people who are alive today fear them, because we were the ones who survived. Ariatron says, to be fair, I think there might still be animal cruelty and ingredients of animal origin, such as crustorium. No, I don't think it's prohibited like tonk and musk. Pass. I don't know enough about how castoreum is taken. You can get legally sourced castoreum, which has just come from like dead beaver. It wasn't killed for its castoreum, it was just a dead beaver. Or it's like trapped to, like JJ says, to control population. So why waste the beaver? But I don't know enough about it to comment other than I'm generally not a fan of vegan stuff because I think it's too much. Brian says, good day, ladies and sirs. Scent of the night is Zerjofiomi. Best thing they made in many years. It doesn't have a high bar. I got a bunny at the moment. Tomorrow is the return date for the owner to collect it, says Adam. What was the name of that spider who had Frodo trapped? Roger wanted to send me the Parfum version of Apex, but I kindly asked to send me something else with it so I can give it away or send it to someone else. Lol, says Brian. Do you get like free stuff? Polo haven't released a good perfume in decades. I'm not so impressed by Modern Reserve either. Maybe it'll grow on me. This is manly sense. Brian says, I did not care for the OG Apex one bit. He's gone off the boil. Like, I mean, even amongst people who like him, you know, or like his perfumes, I should say. It's not a reflection on him as a person, apart from the fact that he's stolen all of Guerlain's perfumes. I'd rather have bug-eating spiders the size of a €1 coin. Saw one I turned a light on when it's going to the toilet. God, that was a big one. The 1,000 or so 1 millimeter bugs. Raid, says Vanilla Puller. Sorry, mate. I'll get your name right. Enrique says, hi, Rich. How is your day? Will you get Animal to compare it to Amen, Pure Havana, Pure Malt? Probably not, no. Sorry, Enrique. Is there a good tobacco perfume that is not a bro fragrance? Says Pradeep. Fedon's Tobacco Rouge is a good tobacco fragrance. The Aramis one, is it Modern Reserve? Tobacco Reserve. It was out a few years ago. That is definitely not a fucking bro fragrance. Brian says, oh, I bought some vintage. No idea how old yet. Girl on, you damn influence. Got Nahima, two different Chamads, Mitsuko and Jardin de Bagatelle. So how Aramis Tobacco Reserve, that's right. How old were these bottles? The Nahima's expensive. Please tell me that the new Shalimar Tonka is bleh, and I can imitate it by mixing Shalimar ADP and Tonka Imperial. I have no idea. Vanilla Pulla. Sorry about that. Aramis Tobacco. Right, I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom again. Sorry. Tobacco from George Zaharoff is a great fragrance. It's quite nice, yes. Oh, I've got a bottle, which I bought. Oh, excuse me. I'll be back in a minute. A bit of a headache. What's going now? Oh, dear me. Okay, what sort of time is it? We'll not be on for much longer. I am tired. Let's have a look. How long we been on for? Oh, just another 5-10 minutes. Marc-Antoine Barrois. Oh. Someone has supported me on the coffee. Someone is very kind. Thank you. I've got a sore lip. How the hell did that happen? What is going on? Okay, I'll get back to the comments. Sorry, I'm just in a world of my own. Where were we? I haven't gotten them in yet, Rich. Tomorrow. They're all minis, though. Some almost empty. But I got 8 minis for €50. That's a good price. Was a steal. Nice. I like minis. JJ sounds amazing right now. Would probably be the most quiet beer drinkers due to misophonia. If Tobacco Boo becomes a bro fragrance, I'm done, says Germs. How on earth will that happen? Yeah, it's discontinued. I quite liked Sundowner. Sundowner had this kind of like slightly sick vibe for me. Gave me this feeling that like it smelled a bit like vomit. You know what I mean? Mixing Shalimar and T.I. Tonka Imperial. Let me try that, says Bob. Oh boy, who's reviewing it? Isn't that late? Says Vanilla Puller. Yeah, but I'm weak. Sorry, mate. Metal Harness, Duck, are you on Facebook? No. Never. Like, I've always raged against Facebook. I hated it when it first came out. And, like, you know, when it took over from, what was the one that came before, the really sad one that fucking somebody tried to bring back? Yeah, not Bebo. MySpace. God almighty. Just don't like the idea. Of social media. Like, awful. You know, if I wanted to talk to the people I went to school with, I wouldn't have sacked them off in the first place, really. Will you sample Amawash's Royal Tobacco and Silver Oud, both approved by Ramsey? Well, that does kind of speak for it, because he really didn't like the direction of the brand. He really didn't like the direction of the brand. And then he really liked both of those. I know that, he told us. Need to find a good bay rum for the fall. Any suggestions? Get in touch with Anuj. He has got a bay rum by the Jamaicans. What's it? Oh God, Anuj, if you're still here. Yes, you are still here. What's that Jamaican bay rum fragrance you've got that I bought? I got the Royal Lime one as well. Royal has a beautiful bay rum. I'm sure that's what it was called. I got the same vomit vibe from Sundowner. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, grim. Really quite nasty. I really didn't like it. Properly put me off. But Royal Bay Rum by Bermuda Perfumes, that's right, Anuj. Anuj has got some. So maybe he'll sort you out. MySpace, poor old Tom. What do you mean, Mike, a poor old Tom? Is everything all right? Who's Tom and why is he poor? Poor. Corner D600 isn't just as good as Megalium. Too late for me. I just figured out who did, says JJ. Anuj says there is a strip club in Niagara Falls called the Sundowner. Just saying. Strip clubs in Canada are any good, says Flora Notes. Asking for a friend. Someone should take Andy Tower there, says Brody. Royal Tobacco opening is unique and pretty good, says Brian. Smells like licorice. Dry down, same sweet benzoin, amber wood overdoses material. Think Rich will hate that? Yes. I'm thinking of just writing off modern perfume now. Like, they're all really bad. Like, it's not even 9 out of 10. It's like 95 out of 100. You know what I mean? Like, almost everything new I smell at the minute just does nothing for us, less than nothing. You know? I'm probably exaggerating, I don't know. It is probably more like 9 out of 10. 8.5, 9 out of 10. Bought a 100ml bottle of D600 just before the prices went up. Wish I'd bought Megalium. I've D Squared's potion. It's almost as good, if not better. I've got D Squared's potion. I paid a tenner for it, would you believe? I've also got Rocky Mountain Haywood, one of Robes Awake fame. Remember Robes loving that fragrance, said it smelled like his back garden. Lovely fragrance, to be fair. Clean, woody, a little bit salty. Very nice. They were much better 20 years ago, Lily, before the internet, says Eugene. Many Royale fragrances have been reformulated. The company has been taken over, licensed by another company, and production has been shifted to the US, not the ones that I got from Anuj. Brian, that was recommended to me. I'd like to sample it, says JJ. Royal Tobacco. Lol, I don't know what that means. I just hear there are different laws regarding these clubs. It even varies state to state here, says Floral Notes. Excuse me. I've got a horrible cough. It's been there for fucking weeks and all. Jesus. Okay. I'm going to bail. Thank you very much, everyone. It's far too cold to be streaming at this time of night, considering we won't be putting the heating on for another 2 months, apparently. I'm not having that, by the way. But yes. Thank you. I appreciate you all. Thanks for coming. Thanks for liking. Thanks for talking. Keeping us company on this dark, cold Wednesday evening. See you later, everyone.